Hi friends! Welcome to my live stream today. I just got back from my Spain retreat, which I'm going to talk a little bit about. We're going to do some painting, and yeah, we're just going to hang out for a bit. So I currently have a little bit of a cold, so if I start coughing, I'm going to put my mute button on. I'm going to have some water, but just bear with me. I'm really going to try not to like sniffle and all that, but unfortunately, when you take a plane, you risk getting sick, and I definitely, indeed, get a cold of some sort. So, we're just going to wing it today. Welcome, guys. Hi, darling. Hi, Marie. Hi, Sheila. Hi, Christina. Welcome, Barbara, Terry, Sherry. I hope you guys enjoyed my wonderful husband's live stream while I was away. He did two of them. One answering a bunch of tech questions, and then one where he... Thanks, she brought home the plague. I did. And one where he painted. Where did I put it? It was so cute. Oh. I'm going to show it. One where he painted pumpkins following a tutorial of mine. Darling, you did really good until you added this brown part, but we can work on that together. I can give you some private lessons. It's okay. But this was so cute. Oh my gourd, I missed you. So I thought that was adorable. So huge thank you to Matt for keeping my channel going while I was gone. You guys love him. I feel like his live stream numbers always do better than mine. He's so funny. But yeah, so thank you, Matt, for doing that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hi, Mom. Hi, Phyllis. Hi, Judy. Welcome, guys. Okay, so today I'm going to do a little recap of the trip. Not too much because I can't show you footage through a live, but I do want to do a video where I am showing you footage of the trip because I got some beautiful shots. The whole thing was absolutely incredible. I think there was a part of me that was really nervous to do Spain. I just didn't know a lot about the country, and I just didn't... I don't know. I was just really anxious about this trip, and I ended up being very pleasantly surprised. It was such an incredible experience. It was so beautiful. So we stayed in Almeria, which is like the southern tip of Spain. I didn't realize how close to Africa we were, which was really cool. So we were right on the coast. Beautiful country, beautiful city. We did a couple day trips where we got to swim in the Mediterranean. We got to hike up to like a old fortress where they shot some scenes from Game of Thrones, which was amazing. Just a lot of sightseeing, which was one of my favorite parts. I loved painting and teaching, but it was so cool to actually get out and see just like the city. It was beautiful. So I will show some shots in a different video where I can kind of go through all of it. And yeah, because it was absolutely gorgeous. But basically, for those of you who do not know, if I don't make any sense, it's because I'm not feeling well. For those of you who do not know what I'm talking about, I have teamed up with Uptrek, which is a company where they hire artists to host watercolor retreats. This is my second one that I've done. I went to France first. Spain is my second. And basically, they have some sort of venue that you... Hey, Mary Lee. She was on the trip with me. She was so fun. Yeah, so basically there's a venue that you stay at. In France, it was like the chateau. This one was kind of like, it wasn't a hotel, but you had your own individual kind of little house room thing. It was beautiful. It was in the desert. There were pools. There was like a common area of where we all did our art together. Private chef, and basically you just stay with 16 other women. We had 15 with us, where we painted daily, and then we did a bunch of day trips and were fed the most delicious food. It was absolutely incredible. Honestly, a trip of a lifetime. And then we had a private guide who, you know, toured us around Almeria. I kept calling it Almeria. It's Almeria. Almeria. Anyway, it was amazing. So if you are interested in these kind of retreats in the future, I am doing one in Greece, which is currently sold out. But I'm working on one for maybe the end of next year, 2026. But there are also other tons of artists that are doing them. So many that I personally love. Sarah Burns is actually going to the same Spain retreat that I just came from, same venue and everything. She's going to love it. I can't wait to see what she does. Christy Rice, who's a good friend of mine, she's doing one in Scotland next year. Harriet de Winton, Ellen Creamy Trent, we've been chatting a lot. She just did hers in Greece, and I'm doing mine in Greece in May. So there's so many of us. So if you are interested in doing one of these retreats, I highly recommend it. Uptrek really takes care of us, between, you know, the location, the food, just everything is incredible. So it was a lot of fun. And if you guys have any questions, you can always, you know, reach out to me, or Uptrek. And yeah, there's a lot of footage that I did put on my Instagram if you are interested in looking now, just like behind the scenes kind of stuff from my stories, and I put it in my highlights. Yeah, and so I also got to bring someone as an assistant. So I brought a friend of mine named Danielle. She is a photographer based out of Kingston, Ontario, and she is amazing. And so she was such an amazing addition to this trip because she took professional photos of everyone. She's currently editing them, so I'm so excited to see when they're all done. But everyone got professional photos of them taken on this retreat, which was such an incredible addition because that does not happen on every retreat. So that was a really nice bonus. And it was just, I don't know, it was really amazing. I'm so happy the trip went well. I'm a very anxious traveler, but it was truly amazing. My favorite part was swimming in the Mediterranean. I'm scared of the ocean. I don't love fish. I like to eat fish, but I don't love to touch fish. And so there were little fish kind of swimming around me. I did have a little, like, not panic attack. I did shout a little. And one, I was taking selfies of myself in the ocean, and I didn't realize until I looked at the photo after that there was actually a fish on my chest. Thank God I did not notice it in the moment. I don't know if I can actually show you this, if you can actually see it. But there's one, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can't really see. But there's one here on my chest. And if I saw that in real time, I would have flipped. But it was so cool to see it after. The water was so clear. It was amazing. But yeah, trip overall was great. So if you guys have any questions about that, let me know. Maureen, so happy you had a great trip. Can't wait to join you sometime in the future. Yes, I will hopefully be doing this for as long as I can, at least 2 a year. I'm so thankful that my husband is able to be with the kids, and I'm hoping that at some point he can come on one with me, but we just don't really have much childcare options, but we're going to hopefully figure that out. But it's really an incredible, incredible trip. I was very impressed by everyone's artwork. I would absolutely go if I weren't helping taking care of my mom. It's hard to kind of get away, but yeah, everyone did so amazing. So we had people on the retreat who ranged from absolute beginners, like people who haven't picked up a paintbrush in years, and this was what they were doing for the first time, and then people that had been following my tutorials for a few years. Excuse me. So it was definitely a range, and I think it's really good practice for me to kind of figure out how I can teach such a wide variety of skill levels as well as interests. Like some people wanted to learn more about like skies and clouds. Some people wanted to learn more florals, and just kind of, you know, navigating how I was going to teach everyone. But the beauty of this is that you have 8 days together, and you really have so much more time than you think to really go through everything. So I was able to take people aside and show them extra little things, but then also do group lessons, which was amazing. So yeah, so I do want to paint with something with you guys today. I did take a photo of the sky when I was leaving from the hotel, not from the actual like retreat venue, but from the hotel. And it was so beautiful. So I don't know if you can see this. Oh, it's not great. I'll try and put it on my overhead camera. But I wanted to paint something like that today with you guys because I haven't painted live in a while. So I'm going to flip you guys around. And then we can start full painting. Yes. And I also wanted to show you this. So my friend Monique at Brush and Binding, she made me another handmade watercolor journal from an old book. So I did do a video on the one that she made me before. It is a 100-year-old cover from 1925. So this has been my designated floral painting watercolor book, and I've been really enjoying it, but I really wanted another one to do strictly landscape. So she sent this over and I'm so excited. One, I love the color green. Two, the spell of French Canada. I'm Canadian. I don't know. I love the cover. It's so cool. So what she does is she takes old books that are basically falling apart and then takes out the middle and then puts watercolor paper in, which is amazing. So she made this for me. I'm so excited, and we are going to be doing a collaboration at some point. She just did another drop of these journals on September 15th and sold out like that. I'm so happy for her. So if you are interested, make sure to follow her Brush and Binding website. Do I have it here? No. But like, look, this is like inserts from the actual book that she always includes, which is so cool. I love that. She put such love and care into these, and they're so amazing. So yeah, I am going to paint on the first page today, and we're going to hopefully do a good job with this photo reference that I want to do. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to hold it open with my clips. And I did tape a little border just to give myself, you know, a nice crisp edge. And yeah, so let me just look up my... Do we need the light? I think the light's okay actually in here. Let me see if I can turn the lights up just a little bit more. And I'm hoping that I don't have a coughing attack. Okay, that should be good. And then the photo, a little bit closer up, is this. I just really love this. Like, look how neon that sky is. So we're going to try and attempt this or something like this. Okay. So I am going to put it in front of me. I don't have to do too much of the bottom because we're going to be painting over it kind of with black to do the palm trees. But the first thing I'm going to do is take my large brush. Oh, hold on. I haven't even unpacked it yet. Where is it? I haven't even unpacked my brushes from the retreat yet. Really hoping this cough goes away soon. Okay, so here are my brushes. I got my flat wash. I have a size 8, size 2, and size 12. We'll see what I need. Okay, so I'm going to start by wetting up the whole background. And we did actually a lot of paintings like this on the retreat as well, which was fun. We did some like sunset skies, we did clouds, we did a mix of landscapes, but then also some flowers. And then some people just were off doing their own thing. Someone wanted to paint snails. She did like a whole snail study. And then you just grab me for whenever you want like help with something or questions. So it's really, really laid back kind of approach. And that's just kind of my thing, but I think it worked out well. Okay, I'm actually gonna use my size 8 for this. Okay, so I'm gonna start with some Opera Rose, which is kind of like a neon pink, which I think is really good for this painting specifically. So Opera Rose is actually like a fugitive color, meaning that it is not light fast. Again, meaning that it will fade over time if it's exposed to like harsh light. This is in my sketchbook. I'm not selling this painting, so I don't really care. And I really won't do much to protect it probably either. I'm not like, you know, kind of crazy about that stuff. But if you do want a painting to last and the brightness of the colors, you might want to use a different color. So I'm just going in with this Opera Rose color, and then I'm going to slowly start to move into like a blue, which mixed with this is going to be purple. So I think the blue I'm going to use, kind of wish I had a cobalt blue. That's fine. I'll just use this like phthalo blue. And I'm just going to start at the top and I'm going to move it on down. And then it's going to start to mix with that pink and turn purple. Actually, I think I should use my bigger brush. My size 12. I'm just going to do swoop, swoop, and I do want it to mix with the pink, so I get this kind of like purpley look to it. And then these like pink clouds are kind of like swooping away up to the top almost, like, I don't know, there's a little bit of movement with them. And I'm not trying to get it exactly like the picture. I just want the same kind of style, the same kind of colors. I'm going to kind of swoop in from this edge. And I'm just keeping it nice and wet as well. Okay, I'm going to mix this pink and this blue together to get kind of like this purple. Because there's like a really fluffy purple cloud at the bottom here. Like that. I'm going to want it a little bit darker. Grab a bit more pink, a bit more blue. I'm going to bring in some darker blue from up here as well. And I'm just being really light with my strokes. Bit more pink in there to get a bit more purple. And the key is when you're adding all these colors, you really don't want to tap in a lot of water. You want it to be just paint, not really water, because that's when you're going to get those kind of weird blooms and bleeds. Because if you have too much water, it's going to push the colors away. Now, believe it or not, this purple that's in the picture is a little bit more dull. It has a bit of yellow in it. So I'm going to add a little bit of yellow in my mixture, and it's just going to dull it down a little bit. I'm just doing these really small, kind of circular We're going to have a lot of darkness down here, so I'm not too worried. There is a hint of yellow, though, in here. Oops. From the sunlight. I'm just tapping in a little bit of yellow. Like that. But I really don't want to bring too much in there. Just going to try and tap a little bit of pink. See, this is where it gets a little tricky because the background is starting to dry, right? So I don't want to go too heavy with much more, because then it will start to get those blooms. Because there'll be a difference in the wetness of the background. And that's when you get those kind of funny marks, which is going to happen, but I mean, it kind of mimics clouds, so I don't really mind too much. It's knowing when to stop, which I know a lot of us have trouble with, even me. Okay, yeah, this is already kind of dry up here, so I don't want to do too much more. I'm just doing little kind of fluffy clouds, really, really light kind of strokes. I do want to do maybe a little bit darker up here. I'm really not adding a lot of water on my brush. I want mostly just paint. It's a little too bright. I got a little bit of yellow just to dull it down a bit. The tape I'm using is washi tape, actually. Just a tiny bit of yellow. See, I feel like I need to stop here. Wash off my brush and dry it. And I'm just going to try and blend this out a bit. I feel like I need to stop, right? Stop. Okay, we're going to leave that. But I like the way it turned out. Does not look exactly like a painting, but I love the kind of vibe it's giving off. I feel like I went a little too dark up here. I don't think so. It's just not as blended as I wanted it to be. Kind of want to mimic that darkness around here. And I'm really just using like the side of my brush and really, really light pressure to get this kind of like fluffy cloud. Okay. I think I needed to let it be. Hey, Steph. Steph was also on the trip with me. Hey, girl. I'm feeling okay, actually. I'm not feeling too bad. I feel like I'm just more... I have to let this dry for a second, so I'll just talk to you guys. I feel like I'm just a bit more congested than anything. My voice, you can hear it in my voice. Not like up all night coughing or anything. I'm actually sleeping pretty decently, except that I've been waking up at 4 just because of the time change. It's been kind of hard to navigate that. But besides that, I'm doing okay. But the thing is like... Was it the trip? Maybe. Like, my son has something too now. Like, not from me. He got sick right before I was coming home. So it's like, it's the season, and we're all kind of just, you know, this is where you need to stop. And I keep wanting to pick it up and keep going. But yeah, so, yeah, I'm doing okay though. I'm good. I've gotten a lot of work done, which is so funny because, I got home and I was like, I'm going to take the rest of the week off to just relax. And then I got right back in. Hey, Ava. Ava, how are you feeling? Did you catch it or did you leave right in time? I feel like we all got sick. Ava was on the trip too. Mary Lee was on the trip. So much fun. But yeah, I was like planning to just like take it easy when I got home. And then I was like, no. And I just got back into like the groove of things. I filmed some tutorials for next week already, which are like simple, but it was just nice to kind of get back into my office and into my my groove. So that's what I've been doing, but I'm feeling okay. I feel good enough to kind of do this. Now I'm looking at my painting on the screen and I'm like, it's fine. We're going to put some, there's parts I don't like about it, but it's all good. We are going to... You're fine. Oh, Ava, maybe you just left like right in time before everyone like shared their sickness. I don't know. That's good though. I'm glad you're good. Okay, let's see if this is dry. I'm going to use my heat tool. Full painting. Okay. Okay. Hey, Jan. Nice to see you. Hope you're feeling good too. So many fun. I feel like all my friends are here. Now I know so many more people. Okay. So now I'm going to do the palm trees. And because the palm trees are in the foreground in front of this beautiful sunset, they're going to be really dark. Now you can use black if you like. I'm going to use indigo just because I feel like it just still brings a little bit of color to it. How long before the launch of your ceramic palette? I have no idea. I'm going to have to get in touch with Craftimo next week and kind of go over logistics for that and my travel brush set and a bunch of stuff and figure it out because I don't know exactly. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 palm trees. It is kind of like in the middle of the picture, but I want it to be over to the side, I think, a little bit more. So I'm going to just start off with a line. Here's my palm tree. No. And these don't look like typical palm trees. The way, like they are, but you know what I mean? Like you see a lot more like detail. Has that kind of like textured trunk at the top here. This is just not the typical way I usually draw them, but I'm going to try and look at the photo exactly and do that. And they have like little kind of spikes up here at the top. And then it kind of goes up to a little bit of a point, and then it's pretty dense over here. And then you get these little kind of palm leaves that are really dense in the middle, and then they have little... I'm gonna do it a little bit... no, I feel like they're even thinner than that. Maybe if I do my dry brush. I feel like we did a lot of this on the trip. Yeah, I need... There we go. I need it a bit more broken up to get finer strokes. Like that. Yeah, that works better. Okay, so I'm going to create the dense leaves first and then do that after. So there's like one over here. There's a bunch up here. Here. Okay. Then I'm going to go right back in my indigo. Make sure it's nice and dark. Really break up my bristles. And just kind of, I'm just flicking. So I'm just getting this really kind of wispy palm leaf. Gotta make sure I'm whisking it away so I get a thinner edge. Looking a little rough there. Hold on. Need like flopping over. Right into the paint because I want it nice and dark. Like that. That looks kind of like it. It works. I like it. Cute. And then there's some down at the bottom too. We're going to do another palm tree right beside it because there is another one there. And there is a couple more like little... Sorry, I'm trying to talk out loud and then I start talking to myself. Okay, then we have this kind of thicker part here with little rough areas. And then we'll have the... It's kind of like the palm leaves start with this like line and then they have like a thicker area like this. And then you go in with the just like the deep color and you're just gonna flick. And don't be worried about doing this to your brush, like breaking it up like this. You just have to rinse it off and kind of mold it back to the way it was. I like this. It's working. Okay, it needs to be a little bit more wet. It's a little too dry. Okay. Like this. Yeah, breaking up the bristles really helps. And then you can just, if it's not dark enough, you can just kind of deepen that shadow. Okay, and then there are some trees off in the distance, so I'm just going to make like a dense little area here like this. And like this. And then I'm going to grab more on my brush, break up the bristles again. So it's like there's more palm leaves in the distance. Maybe a sharper one up here. There we go. Totally worked. Okay. I was like, this painting could totally work for me or not today. And sometimes, guys, it doesn't, and that's okay. But when it does, and it's on camera, it's very exciting. Very exciting. Okay. There we go. And I think that's it. Okay. I mean, it's not identical to the photo, but it's pretty close. And I took pieces from it that I really enjoyed. So whenever I'm doing something from a reference photo, I don't know if you can see that, I just try and kind of mimic pieces I like. Like I did do a bit darker up here. There's a lot more brightness and kind of airiness up here, but it's fine. I do like the yellow kind of bit that I added there. That was so much fun. Yeah, that was a really nice tropical getaway. I'm not gonna lie. And it's not hard coming home because it's actually kind of warm at home right now. It's not like hot, but it's warm. But the leaves are turning and I love the fall, so I'm not mad at it. I do love the fall. And there we go. So let's take off the tape because that's always the best part. And this washi tape was from Craftimo. It was in my my subscription box from February. And I am currently working on new subscription boxes. I'm like at the beginning stages with Craftimo. I'm trying to like lay out each month and figure out what I'm going to paint. So that will be interesting. So I haven't done that yet. But we're working on it. I just needed that to be a little bit darker. All right. And there we go. There's my first painting in my brand new watercolor journal from Brush and Binding. I love it so, so, so much. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. And I am planning to do, like I said, another kind of recap of the whole trip once I organize all the footage and everything like that, because it truly was such an amazing time. And I do want to share all of the fun things that we did and saw, and it was really, really great. So just stay tuned for a video. I don't know when that's going to happen. I have to get everything in order. But yeah, so that's our live stream for today. A nice, quick, and easy one. I will be back on Monday with our regular schedule. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos and fall content coming out. So that will be fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's painting. Look at that. Looks like a postcard. And yeah, I will see you guys soon. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you to all my friends who were on the Spain trip that were in the comments. That was so nice to see you. And I hope I see you throughout my future live streams. And yeah, have a great day, guys. Bye.